Hey guys, Blessing here, and how are you doing? Good day to all of you. We are finally here to kick it off. I'm so sorry that I had to change the time twice, but better late than never. Now, this is going to be a different kind of video, a different kind of analysis, because I have noticed lately, notification, noticed lately that there has been so much noise and most people are getting confused in the midst of all the noise, confusion everywhere, question marks that who is going to answer the questions, and who can we even trust to be the one bringing facts? What are the facts? What is the truth? What are the misconceptions? What is the misinformation going around? What can we believe? So I want to go back in time, um, in Justin's and Cora's life. Wait, let me even see if this is going well before I continue. But anyways, I'm going to do that in a jiffy. We want to go back in time. So we're not just going to dive into, okay, this is trending and this is happening right now, but we are going to go into how it all started. How did they meet? Who was feeding who? And were they ready for marriage? And how we got here, the way forward. Is there a solution? Can we slow down? Is it going to get worse? So we're going to take it one step at a time, but we're going to start from where it all began. Don't go nowhere. Okay, I'm not very sure I am live on Facebook because I use that app that I always use. Let me just check. So I didn't even cross check, but I'm gonna check now. Okay, no, it didn't work. So I think, wait, okay, anyways, I want to welcome all of you. Let me see. Go to YouTube. Okay, that worked. It went well. Okay, it's quite late now, and I can imagine that most people are already sleeping. It's really late. You can even hear from my voice that I am also not very energetic and hyper at the moment, but we're just going to get right into it, and hopefully tomorrow when people wake up, they can watch. So if you're here, you're watching, say hi, go ahead and share the video. Let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know that you are watching. Okay, let's begin here.
And every time I tell it, people are surprised by it, especially when I have this person licking my face.
Okay, let me let you go.
I mean,
you tell your story.
But you can join. Just don't like my ear. You want to send that?
Okay. Thanks, Daddy. I'm about to join.
Okay. Show you. So
I want my followers to see your story too.
All right, fine. I will wait. We will wait.
So I'm gonna go live on mine as well.
We're gonna do double live. Is that gonna break the internet?
Crack.
What happens when
you both go live at the same time? What if everyone on planet Earth goes live at the same time? What would that do?
Okay, I need to apologize for their voices. Sounds maybe a bit odd and maybe a bit annoying that, up and down and just sounding a bit funny. But I guess some of you already know why that is the case. Now, some of you also remember that video. And for me, I always take cues from what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. And I want to go, like I said at the beginning of this video, maybe some of you just joined and you didn't hear my intro. We need to understand where the problem started for us to know where we are headed, right? These people, they were together. They were seemingly in love. They were showing love towards each other, and it was beautiful to watch them just be involved in each other, in the conversation, in just in the romance. But when you pick out things that that are looking like red flags, it is important for us to point them out from how the problem started. They also, I think they knew then that they were having problems. They knew. And I'm not even saying, I'm not talking about problems like the things she mentioned about domestic abuse, infidelity, and all of that. I'm talking, okay, let me give you guys an example. So in this clip we just watched, Justin was live. That was his first major live video. So during the entire pregnancy, she was always live. They were live on her page. And now he wanted to start to use his page to just create his own content around education and teach people stuff, you know. That was the first time he was really, you know, he wanted to introduce himself properly on his own page and tell them, okay, I'm going to start doing stuff here. And the moment she went, she said she wanted to join. She joined him on his page while he was live, and immediately she pulled out her phone and she said, my fans would also love to see this, would also love to watch this. I want to show my fans this. So she went live on her own page while he was live on his page. What would you have expected her to do in that situation? And look, it doesn't mean maybe she's bad, don't get that wrong, but it just means there are certainly things they both did that they weren't just aware of, that these are things you shouldn't do. And we are not just doing these videos for them alone, because you can't undo what has happened. They are no longer together. They can't change the mistakes they made. But there might be other people, other couples out there who might watch these videos that we make and they'll feel like, okay, let me not make this same mistake. Now, she pulled out her phone and she went live on her own page. What any sane person would have expected her to do was, okay, this is your first time, you're my husband, and you want to start to create content on your page. What you should do, for any lady out there watching this video, what you should do, you already have an audience, you already have a following, they know who your husband is, but your husband wants to introduce himself and start to create content on his page. What you do is you share his video to your page. There is no sense in you going live because you also want to make money out of it, for example, or you just want to go live to use it as content. But the essence of it is bringing your husband out, helping his page gain that visibility, and for people to be aware that the page is, you know, is going to start to do something. What you should do in that situation is you share him. You redirect your followers to his page. You going live on your page is only for your own benefit, is only helping yourself, especially because they were not even they were not working as a team at that time. Their finances were already yeah, because according to Nancy, she had already started to earn last year. She started to earn money last year from her socials, and he wasn't earning from his, right? I think. So she went live instead of just sharing him so that her followers can also, you know, see him and maybe follow him and then help the views from that first video. But what happened? She just took all her own followers to be on her page. They didn't go to his page to watch him there. So what was the need of being there? What was the support? And I know they will say, oh, it's because of Cora, he made it to where he is. But you can also say it's because of Justin that she made it to where she is, which we are going to get into very soon. So that's the first bad sign that I noticed earlier on in their relationship. Earlier on, even before all of this chaos started, yeah, going live while your partner was live. I think they just didn't plan how their finances would go, how their social media life would be. They didn't realize or anticipate the dangers that could come along with creating content and exposing your private life on social media. They underestimated it, maybe. Otherwise, they would have planned, okay, my wife, you already have a big page. I want to start doing this. What happens if you are live and I want to go live? What happens if I'm live and you want to go live? What happens? Can we both go live at the same time? Or should we maybe create a family page so that when we want to do something collectively as a family, we use that page? Then it's for all of us. Whatever revenue we derive From that page, we split it among us. Then it's for all of us, the children, for us. And then when you want to do stuff about your music, you want to dance, you want to do your thing, you do it on your page. When I want to do things about chiropractic, I really have issues with that word. Chiropractic, I do it on my page. They didn't plan. Yeah, this one wanted to hustle for his own followers on his page. She wanted to maintain her own followers and monetize whatever content was coming. And another example, I gave that example in one of my earlier videos I did around March, after she gave birth to baby Athena. He was already live on his page talking about her umbilical cord that had fallen off after 4 days. While he was teaching about that, talking about it, he had so many people watching and just being interested to see the baby and seeing the umbilical cord. How many times do you ever get to see a raw umbilical cord that falls off and you see it just the same day it falls off, right? So it was quite interesting for people to watch. And then she came and she went live on her page. She was like, oh, she's also going to go live. Like, just stealing his moment, stealing his shine, just wanting to also have a piece of the cake. So they were not working as a team. She would not just come in and see him, oh, he's live, and she just goes and shares him, like, okay, you're bringing in the money, it's our money. I am bringing in the money, it's our money. Whether it's yours, it's ours. Whether it's mine, it's ours. They don't have that mentality. They didn't go into this social media business with that ideology. Their marriage was already cracked. Their finances were, I don't know, you guys already know, yeah? So both of them were hustling separately, individually. Yeah, you guys didn't notice, but they were hustling on their own. Like, okay, let me go on my page. So Cora's page was Cora's page, and the money there was hers that she was trying to secure. So they weren't doing it hand in hand. That's another thing. Let me play another clip.
Okay, so what were we doing, Cora?
We're introducing you to the live game. I just want to indoctrinate my husband into the best family ever. The live game. Welcome, Justin. We love you.
Yeah, because I've been working 10, 12-hour days and not really having time to make any professional content for quite some time. I used to make a lot, actually, before I met Cora. And then,
because, you know, you have two girls now, and we girls, we like to eat steak. So it is what it is.
So I have to work a lot. Because you expensive.
I ain't no chip.
Chip?
I ain't no chip.
Oh, you're saying you're like a potato chip. I was like...
I'm high maintenance, baby.
Okay. So this video, in case you're just joining or in case you're watching and you're asking or wondering when this video was made, or these videos, they were made when she was still pregnant. I think they were expecting their baby within 2 weeks from when they did this video. And another misconception or misinformation we have heard lately is, oh, it was Cora that was feeding Justin. Justin is a jobless Facebook doctor. He doesn't have a job. He was eating from Cora. Cora was the one doing all the work, and he was using her. She was feeding him. She's the cash cow. We have heard that a lot. Like I said, this video is not the normal or usual analysis. I know so much has been trending. I know I have seen some of the videos Cora did yesterday, the outburst, you know, just calling Justin out, like, I've seen all of that, and we are going to get there. So this is a series, in case you're also wondering. I have this as episode 1. So we are really going to just move out of all the noise, all the madness happening, everybody doing their own thing, everybody supporting who they want to support, and everybody confused a bit. I think there is so much confusion, but if you're supporting Justin, you don't know there's confusion. You're just focused on Justin or focused on supporting him. If you're supporting Cora, you don't realize that there is confusion around you. You just focus on, oh, Cora is the victim, and we are going to get there, but we need to take it step by step. That's why I'm like, okay, let me calm down. Let me not go along with the flow of, okay, no, this is what happened yesterday. This is what she said. I want to go back to how it started. And that is how all of this came about, to really just dig further back, you know, into history, into time. So this is another thing he said. He said he has been working 12 hours a day, you know. And yeah, so he has been working. That's why he didn't have enough time to be creating content as much as he used to create long time ago. So clearly he was really working and feeding his family. And she was even cracking up like, yeah, because we like to eat, what we like to eat, steak. And he said, yeah, you're not cheap, or you're expensive, or something like that. So he was the one catering for his family. Cora only started earning in 2021, but we know that Cora moved to the US in 2018. So 2018, Justin was taking care of his family like every man should do. I'm not saying, hey, hallelujah, you've done something great, but let us not turn the story around and just devalue the man and just make him look like he was just never any good to Cora, or just make him look like, oh, you just brought her to use her because of her talent. No, that is not the case. We are here to just spew the truth. You don't have to lie or spoil someone's image just because you're supporting the other one. It doesn't do well. It doesn't speak well of your credibility at the end of the day. So that's why I'm just here to really pull out the truth. It might fall in Justin's favor, it might fall in Cora's favor. It really doesn't matter as long as people know the truth. But if you want to continue to lie and deceive yourself and just bring something that is not reality and want to just be delusional and want to pretend that, okay, this is your truth, you create your own truth for yourself, but you're shifting away from facts, then it's your business, but at least the world knows the truth. So he was working 12 hours, and people don't work for free. You wouldn't be staying 12 hours away on the road working without pay. You understand? So he was catering for his family, was fending for them, as we heard in that clip. Let's play the next one. I'm going to read comments soon, by the way.
So I was like, F that, I'm not doing that. So I started traveling, and I went everywhere I could, and I learned from every single expert in every single subject that I could. You name it. The world leading expert in disc pain, I studied with him. The world leading expert in nerve movement and stretch, I studied with him. The world leading experts in all different kinds of fascial treatments, I've been there. So I've sort of developed this skill set from just being obsessive to learn it all. And I probably spent $250,000 doing that. So I've actually spent more on learning stuff outside of my degree than I have on my degree, because my degree was not enough. Not even close.
So we are $250,000 in student loan debt.
Not anymore.
I know, but that is how much it took Justin to get to this point in his career. It took a lot of money.
Okay, so he explained that he was traveling. He started to travel because he no longer wanted to be a teacher. He was going to university to be a teacher. I think he dropped out. I'm not sure. There is a part in that story that I missed. He might have dropped out, or he might have completed his studies at university to become a teacher. But at a point in time, he decided, look, I no longer want to be a teacher. I just want to travel and become a chiropractor because the system is better than the conventional, medical system. I think that was his argument. And then he started to travel around the world and go to experts, to learn from them. So he had about $250,000 student loan just traveling, because it costs money. Of course, you have to pay for the courses, you have to pay your transport, your flight, you have to stay in a hotel or something. So he was really traveling, and that cost him a lot. And from what he said, about $250,000, which is about $250,000. And what struck me was when he said that, Cora Obidi immediately said, that's how much we owe in student loan. When she said that, he corrected her. He was like, not anymore. So, and she was like, yeah, I know, but. And I was like, I was watching it then, and I asked myself then, if you know that you're no more in debt, you're no longer owing $250,000, why say that? Why try to mislead people into believing they are still owing $250,000? He only explained, look, it costs this much. And she said, that is what we are owing. And he said, not anymore. So he had paid part of it, or they had paid off part of it, but she still wanted to present to the world that they were still owing that much. And that just brings me forward again to her lifestyle now. For me, the way I have seen, even when they were together, the way she was really even behaving there, she behaved and portrayed their situation as though they didn't have much, or that she just wants people to believe like, we are in debt, we have to pay off student loans, we're not such rich people like that. And when I saw her trip to Nigeria, where she went to a market, and she said that her mother taught her that whenever she went to the market, she should dress poorly. She should dress as a poor person so that they wouldn't give her a high price. So they would think, oh, this one is a poor woman. Let me not, maybe she can't afford it, so I'm just going to sell it to her cheap, so that So she explained that, and for me, she is bringing that ideology into social media, because social media, whether you like it or not, is Kora Obidi's marketplace. She's not on the street at the market. This is her marketplace. This is her place of work. This is where she bargains and negotiates and does her business, her buying and selling, her trade. She's doing like trade by barter. She sells her own private life for money in a good way. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying, oh, because when you guys hear, oh, she's selling for money, you guys already think, no, she's doing her job. This is her job. Yeah, but she's giving you guys something in return for what she earns. Yeah. So for me, that style of let them not know what I'm worth is a marketing strategy. Not really a marketing strategy, but an earning strategy for her to optimize her earnings. So she's not only earning from the ads that run in her video, but also earning from, her followers who think, oh, they don't really have that much. And I see that she mentioned the other day that they don't have a blender, and she blends with her hand, for example, and they're just going to order a blender for her because she has already infused that idea in their mind that they don't have that much. So for me, it is a strategy for her. She doesn't want you to know that she has as much as she has. So I'm just going to play that again so that you guys will hear what he said about the student loan and what she wanted to make of it before he corrected her. So we're talking about lies today. We're talking about deceit, and it's not only from Korah. We are also going to get to Justin, where he has tried to mislead. Yeah, we're going to get there just step by step. So all the lies and deceit didn't just start after the divorce. They had anyway, let me just play it.
So I was like, F that, I'm not doing that. So I started traveling, and I went everywhere I could, and I learned from every single expert in every single subject that I could. You name it. The world leading expert in disc pain, I studied with him. The world leading expert in nerve movement and stretch, I studied with him. The world leading experts in all different kinds of fascial treatments, I've been there. So I've sort of developed this skill set from just being obsessive to learn it all. And I probably spent $250,000 doing that. So I've actually spent more on learning stuff outside of my degree than I have on my degree, because my degree was not enough. Not even close.
So we are $250,000 in student loan debt.
Not anymore.
I know, but that is how much it took Justin to get to this point in his career. It took a lot of money.
Okay, so I'm having a problem with the comments. I only see my YouTube comments. I do not see my Facebook comments on this app that I'm using, but I can check on my other phone to see your comments on Facebook, unfortunately. But I might be missing so many comments on Facebook, but I'll try to be keeping my eye on some comments. But I see you guys already on YouTube. If you're here, I can really read your comments. Happy New Year, traditional home cooking. What happened to you? I have not been seeing your videos. Hope you are good. Yes, I'm good. I'm just more active on Facebook these days than on YouTube. That's why I hope you're good. Happy New Year. Okay, let's move on to the next video. Let me be sure I have the.
What were we doing, Cora?
We're introducing you.
So, anyways, so essentially, through that process of just trying to learn everything I could possibly learn and just chasing down every single person that had any sort of expertise in any single subject, I was recruited to China. That's how I met Cora. I was recruited to work at the Shanghai Olympic. So I was like, F that, I'm not doing that. So I started. Anyways, so essentially, through that process of just trying to learn everything I could possibly learn and just chasing down every single person that had any sort of expertise in any single subject, I was recruited to China. That's how I met Cora. I was recruited to work at the Shanghai Olympic Training Center and work with their athletes for the Chinese national games. And so that was in 2017, and I met Cora on Tinder. Was not part of the plan. I was having a good time in China. I was not planning on getting married.
He was having a good time in China.
Yes, I was. And
how good was your time? Do you want to tell them?
No.
Right. So they met in 2017. So you guys just remember the timeline. Let us know how things progressed. So this man, from what he just said, he has been working. Yeah. He was recruited from the US to go work in China. And he had a good job. He was working with the National Olympics team. Yeah. And he was earning well, from what he's going to explain later. That after then he met Cora Obidi on Tinder. So he had a job when they met. Let's really be straight about that. And according to the story also, she also had a job. So he had a good life. I know I've heard stories of, oh, he has always been using her. So now who is the gold digger? Because if they both had jobs, then who was digging whose gold? So let's just, when we are repeating this story, some of you are new. Some of you started to follow Cora 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Some of you started to hear about Justin 3 months ago, 5 months ago. So before you repeat what you heard, maybe you've gone to a blogger and they've told you something else. They've told you, oh, he's using her, or oh, she's a gold digger. Please know the facts, know the truth. Don't just join like a chicken without a head and spoil someone's name. Know the truth. This is their story, talking about how they met. They were together when they were giving this story out to the public. So they met in 2017. He had a job in China. Yeah.
Anyways, so essentially, through that process of just trying to learn everything I could possibly, so I was having a good time in China. Met Cora, and I don't think we've spent more than 1 or 2 days apart since we met up until the time that I moved to America. So met Cora. We did it there in Shanghai for 10 months. We had a great time.
Best time of my life.
And then we moved to Nigeria I was there for probably, 3 or 4 months? And I came to learn the culture. I learned everything I can. We had our traditional marriage. I paid the dowry. We sacrificed animals. I paid off the elders with beer and cigarettes. Literally what they requested. It was just
It was more than just beer and cigarettes. You've forgotten the list. There were a lot of other things.
What was this? I just remember laughing about beer and cigarettes. It was literally like, I want a Hennessy. I want 4-star Radlers and a cigar. It was just
everybody had their entitlement to their princess. I was the princess. And they cannot just give me out like that for nothing. So you have to
pay for you with beer and cigarettes.
You paid the umuada, you bought aquacha, you bought different things. There were different things on the list that you paid for, but you can't remember.
Well, of course I'm going to remember beer and cigarettes.
I remember we paid together because it's not only him that has to pay. We both did it together. Some of you say, we'll dry your man out.
You paid it for that?
We did together.
Oh,
cool. Okay. So another explanation of how they started to date and how they moved to Nigeria. So they didn't go from China to the US. So you guys just remember these things. They met on Tinder. Tinder is a dating app. Yeah. In China. they said she was working, but from this story, they didn't repeat it. But I've heard stories of, okay, she used to work as a dance teacher. He was working according to his story now. And then they met. They dated for 10 months in 2017. Then they moved to Africa. They moved to Nigeria. Excuse me. They stayed in Nigeria for 3 to 4 months. They got married there. So according to the explanation again, he married her fully. Traditionally, he bought all the things on the bride list. He paid the bride price. He performed the traditional rites before you can take a woman away from her family. He did what he had to do. And he was even explaining that some of the king's men also had demands, like, I need my drink, my bottle of Hennessy, my cigarette, whatever. He provided everything they asked for. And while he was explaining that, she said, you killed a cow, you killed a goat. Maybe you guys heard it, or maybe to be in another video. And while he was saying all of those things, and she was also, reminding him of the things he paid for, immediately she chipped in that she also paid. Like, you are not the only one that paid. I also paid. Two things in my mind. Normally, some of you African people watching me might just be like, oh, she should never have said that, because generally it's a shame that a woman pays her own bride price or something to do with her bride price. I'm going to give you guys maybe an example with my own case. During my own traditional marriage, I made sure I didn't pay or I didn't spend anything regarding whatever had to be provided from my husband's family. What I concentrated on was what I was going to wear. So I bought my own dress, made sure my hair, my makeup artist, I focused on my own stuff. But every other thing, food, location, logistics, I made sure my 1 cent didn't go into it, just not to have the feeling of I paid along with my bride price. But my dress, because I don't want someone to say, that one is too expensive. No. So I had control over what I spent on myself because I knew how I wanted to look. But she, in her own case, they were mentioning things or items on the bride's list. And she specifically said she paid along. I wish I didn't have that logo covering Justin's face, because his face changed. Like, he had that question mark on his face, like, really? You did? And she was like, yeah, I did. So in her own words, they paid her bride price together. And what that translates into is that she married herself. She co-married herself. They both married Korah. Let me play that again.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the penthouse apartment downtown.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so
China was ridiculous.
we definitely YOLO'd China.
Okay.
So I was having a good time in China, met Cora, and I don't think we've spent more than 1 or 2 days apart since we met up until the time that I moved to America. So met Cora, we did it there in Shanghai for 10 months. We had a great time.
This time of my life.
And then we moved to Nigeria I was there for probably, 3 or 4 months? And I came to learn the culture. I learned everything I can. We had our traditional marriage. I paid the dowry. We sacrificed animals. I paid off the elders with beer and cigarettes. Literally what they requested. It was just
It was more than just beer and cigarettes. You've forgotten the list. There were a lot of other things.
What was this? I just remember laughing about beer and cigarettes. It was literally like, I want a Hennessy. I want 4-star Radlers and a cigar. It was just
everybody had their entitlement to their princess. I was the princess. And they cannot just give me out like that for nothing. So you have to
pay for you with beer and cigarettes.
You paid the umuada, you bought aquacha, you bought different things. There were different things on the list that you paid for, but you can't remember.
Well, of course I'm going to remember beer and cigarettes.
I remember we paid together because it's not only him that has to pay. We both did it together. Some of you say, we'll dry your man out.
You paid it for that?
Mm-hmm, we did together.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so he didn't argue. When he was like, you paid? And she was like, yeah. Then he was like, cool, whatever. You know, he didn't argue further, but his body language already showed like, what the heck are you talking about? So yeah, those were things, little things that I picked up. And if you guys, some of you might remember, there was this day, I think 2 days maybe after she put to bed, she was on a massage table. He was doing something around her stomach. They were still together then. Blessing Njoh, the analyst, already saw the signs again. And I made a video, and you guys, some of you remember, I'm not even going to repeat some of the things that I said, but I remember saying that her body language showed that she didn't want to be there at that point in time. She even rolled her eyes. And I remember people coming for me and coming at me like, what? You're wishing them, you know, to whatever they said, because you guys are not open-minded enough. And I just need you guys with this video to be open-minded to reality. Just see the truth and we can move further. Someone is saying here on Facebook, she lied to her followers yesterday. She tried to manipulate the court orders, saying that Justin called her brother-in-law a black man just to send her puppies out for justice. Okay, so like I said, we are going to take it step by step. This is episode 1, and we are only going to be here for an hour max. Yeah, so every episode is going to take max an hour. We are not going to stay here for 2 hours. So this one might come in episode 9, but we are going to get there eventually. I also saw that video yesterday, and someone also called my attention to it because I didn't notice the discrepancy between what she said and what was in the documents. But apparently she lied about that, you know, just to make it look really racist, really bad, really terrible. But another thing that my attention was called to, thank you so much, Miss Mighty. I used to say Miss Migty, but I checked the spelling again. I was like, this is Mighty, but with the I at the end. Thank you so much for that. That he also, you know, but we are gonna get there. Like, let's just take it one step at a time. Yeah. Someone says about 20 minutes ago on her live.
So I was having a good time in China, met Cora, and I don't think we've spent more than 1 or 2 days apart since we met up until the time that I moved to America. So met Cora, we did it there in Shanghai for 10 months. We had a great time.
This time of my life.
And then we moved to Nigeria I was there for probably, 3 or 4 months? And I came to learn the culture. I learned everything I can. We had our traditional marriage. I paid the dowry. We sacrificed animals. I paid off the elders with beer and cigarettes. Literally what they requested. It was just
It was more than just beer and cigarettes. You've forgotten the. Oh
a
god.
penthouse apartment downtown.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
China was ridiculous.
we definitely YOLO'd China.
Oh my gosh.
And I was making good money in China, and we were just like
Blowing it.
just having a good time. You only live once.
Yellow.
So yeah. I mean, what animals had to be sacrificed?
You bought a cow, you bought a goat.
I bought a cow and I bought a goat.
You bought chickens.
And what did they do with it?
They killed them and put the blood in the ground.
And
They ate them.
And what was the purpose of that?
It's just tradition.
So you could be buried in the cemetery, right?
So I can be buried in my hometown. If I don't do those things, I can't be buried in my hometown.
In the royal cemetery, right?
Because I.
Okay, so he mentioned that he was making good money in China, and she affirmed to that by saying we were just blowing it. So he was making money in China and they were blowing it. Cora said it with her mouth. Are we still learning new things? So he wasn't just a deadbeat boyfriend. He was making money. He was, you know, spending on both of them. So for the record, they got married in December 2017. Maybe in episode 2, I'm going to show you guys some pictures from their traditional wedding in Nigeria. But in this episode, we're just going to do videos alone.
Moved back to the States. I moved to LA.
Another thing she mentioned, because she said you bought a cow, you bought a goat, you bought this, you bought that, and he was asking, what did they do with those animals? She said they slaughtered them and, poured their blood in the soil or something. And he asked why. And she said it's tradition. When they do that, they secure her place where she will be buried when she passes on. If they don't do that, when you get married to an African or a Nigerian woman from where she comes from, if you don't perform those traditional rites, when you pass on, they will not allow your body to be buried there. But now that he has completed the traditional rite, then when she passes on, I pray God gives her long life. Long life. Yeah. But when it happens, then she will be allowed to be buried there. That's what it means. My question now is, did they return the bride price to him or not? Because tradition demands that when or after the dissolution of traditional or marriage in general, the bride's family have to return the bride price. Everything he paid, they have to return it to him. Question is, have they done that? If they have not done that, that means they are still traditionally tied together, which might have spiritual implications on either of them. If maybe they want to just move on with their lives and start to see other people spiritually, something might just be holding them down because they haven't broken the bond holding them together. Yeah.
Moved back to the States. I moved to LA, a place that I knew no one. Zero human beings. I knew nothing about the city, never been to LA. Well, outskirts of LA, but I'd never been, so I didn't know. So I took a job with another chiropractor and that didn't work out well. We utterly failed in that business, or I utterly failed. So much so that we were sleeping on my table, like we were broke. We were basically homeless, like not homeless, but like Airbnb homeless, which means you drive 2 hours outside of the city to stay in a place for $400 a month. As I was trying to get my shit together, and luckily the problem wasn't me. The problem was just geographic problem. I was in the wrong area of the city where people were not looking for my specialized skill set. People were looking for a chiropractor to just crack them. And so when we moved out here to Santa Monica, or I moved my clinic out here to Santa Monica, within 3 months it was like...
Okay. So let's rewind. After they met, 10 months later, they went to Nigeria and got married in Nigeria. So they only dated for 10 months. And he also mentioned that he was having the time of his life in China before he met her. And that marriage was not part of the plan. So like, he wasn't ready to get married. And from even what he said, there was some, how do you say that? Some connotation of regret in him saying, marriage was never part of the plan. He wasn't like, oh, I'm so blessed that we got married, although I didn't plan for it, but he was just like, I was having a good time. Marriage was not part of the plan. I mean, marrying someone just 10 months after you meet is also, well, 10 months is quite long, but it depends. But maybe that also contributes to why they didn't really learn each other or learn to know each other better, before moving to Nigeria and then just getting married immediately. And he moved back to the US because he left her there, because I believe he had to come back to the US to process her documents. So she didn't leave immediately with him. And I think it was also in the process of waiting for her documents to travel that she looked into the Pandora's box. Yeah, after the traditional marriage. So we're just taking it like step by step. We have about 15 more minutes to go. If you're enjoying the video so far, you're learning something new or just being reminded of what you've known before, go ahead and just give the video a thumbs up already and share it, because we're going to close very soon, but we still have a few more clips to watch. So he moved back to LA. So I'm sure, or I can imagine that before he chose to go to LA of all places, a place he had never been before, he must have discussed it with her that, look, you're talented. Where are we going to stay in the US? Should we go to Oregon, where I come from? or they must have discussed it before he moved back to the US. And then he got to LA and things were really difficult for him. He worked together with another chiropractor and things didn't really, it wasn't good, it didn't go well because the location didn't just suit his area of specialization, I believe, or expertise. So he had to move to Santa Monica, and that was when his business picked up after 3 to 4 months. So again, he was working and he was hustling. He was working hard. He even mentioned in one of the clips we watched before that he worked at Subway. I think that's where they sell like bread and croissants and stuff like that, breakfast stuff. He was hustling. He's a hard worker. He's not a lazy man, as I've heard or seen people write. Oh, lazy man, he's just waiting for the wife to pay. He has been just the family man, the head of the house, really catering for his family, fending for them, providing for them. He was a fighter, just trying to make ends meet, got to LA, went from zero to where they are now. Yeah. So moved to Santa Monica again and things started to get better for them.
Justin, do you have licenses in different states to practice?
I have a license in California. I used to have a license in Oregon, but I let it expire because I just don't ever go there. But right now I just have it in Oregon. I mean, California, sorry.
So you have to come here to be treated by him.
Yeah.
So someone asked if he has a license to practice everywhere. So he answered that he only has a license to practice in California, not in Oregon, and I believe nowhere else, only in California. And I know that there's also this news going around that his license has expired. And there's a screenshot to that. I'm also going to show you guys tomorrow. Today is just let's listen to some of the clips, and tomorrow we're going to see screenshots, we're going to see pictures, and some of the things people have said so far. Now, I saw the screenshot that allegedly his license had expired. Truly, I saw the screenshot with his home address on it, his name, his information, and all of that. The only thing I miss on that screenshot is which location. Was that a license for California or was that a license for Oregon? Because he said he allowed the license for Oregon to just expire. So that's the only piece of information that I missed from that screenshot. It doesn't tell me a lot. So if that is the one for California, then it truly has expired. But I don't know if he has clarified that piece of information because I've not really been watching all of his videos so far. I don't know if he ever said anything about that or not.
Justin, do you have licenses in different states to practice?
Can you practice reduce infection? No, I don't deal with infections. No. I'm a conservative, non-surgical, non-medical doctor, which means I take care of pain, and I make the body function better, or I correct something that's not functioning properly, and there's some limitations in that.
Okay, so he's not allowed to do everything as a doctor. So he's a non-surgical, non-invasive kind of doctor. He can only treat you externally. He's not allowed, I believe, to inject or to prescribe drugs. But from the video Korobidi did yesterday that we are going to get to in some of our future episodes, she mentioned that he was injecting their baby. If that happens to be true, then Justin has a big problem because he just broke some of the codes or some of the things he's not licensed to do. How much more a baby, if it is true? I cannot say that it's true and I cannot just start to hammer on him now. We have to see either proof or we have to be sure, maybe hear from him to know where that story is coming from, where it's heading to, but we have to be sure if it really happened. If it really happened, then it's a problem because he's not allowed, from his explanation himself, to inject, but Korobidi claims that he was doing that on the baby. Ooh. And I'm also going to play a video where he mentioned that he was learning to treat Athena. He said Athena was giving birth to face first. Yeah, she came out with her face, and he mentioned what she has. the girl has something. I don't remember what the medical term is. Let me see if I can find that video.
Don't pinch my kids. I would never hurt my kids. In fact,
Okay, maybe by tomorrow I'm going to find it, where he explained that he's learning, he wants to be an expert, to be able to treat Athena himself. So I don't know if he got his license before treating or injecting the baby or after, but he did that video when he was living with the friend, I believe, when he was squatting with a friend after they broke up. So it's really, really dubious. Let's just wait and see how everything unfolds. Let me see, we have 10 more
Moved
minutes.
back to the States. I moved to LA, a place.
Justin, do you have licenses in?
Can you practice reduce infection? No. Grass seed, whatever it is, into a hopper, and then a truck comes by and you take out your little arm and then you dump everything
Look
into
at
the
him
truck.
explaining it. He's a farm boy. He's a country boy.
Yeah, so you would do that all
I come from the country.
Yeah, you do that all summer, and then during the school year, I worked at Subway, and I also ran track and cross country, which is how I got to. So, stop that. Stop that. I'm trying to stop that. Do you not understand?
Okay, stop.
No, you're gonna sniff it. Watch. Yeah, she's weird like that.
We're weird.
No, you're.
We are.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, they were really, really playing love, but underneath all the love they both were playing, they were quarreling. So they would fight and then they would say, let's go live and make up live, something like that. That's how it looks like. Okay, they just finished quarreling. Okay, let's just do a video. And they would look good on camera and then they would just reconcile. So tomorrow, or from episode 2, we are going to start looking into the lies. I'm already going to tell you guys that the lies we gathered on Cora are more than the lies we gathered on Justin. And another thing I should tell you already before we begin is that Justin has already corrected some of his own lies. Some of his own lies he has corrected. And some of his lies he has not corrected because we are not sure if they are lies, like things Cora would say that he had told us something different about. So we don't know if they are lies, but she has said they are lies because they are different from what he told us. He has not corrected those ones. For like this last example I gave, he hasn't corrected those ones, but I should prepare your mind that the lies on Cora are more than the lies on Justin. And also, I have to also warn you because I did a video back in March where I talked about the 4 cameras. Look, Blessing Njoh is just going to say it even before everyone else wants to start to talk about it. Even before they broke up, when she did a video and talked about, oh, all 4 cameras shut off. That's why we couldn't show you the birth live as we promised. And Blessing Njoh did a video and was like, how can 4 cameras shut off? Let me show you guys a sneak peek to that.
All 4 cameras shut off. No camera was working. I was not able to capture that moment. And I feel very sad because I really wanted to, capture when I brought Athena to this world. 4 cameras would not work for some reason. Nothing wrong, memory intact, battery full, everything, they just would not work. Even the camera we had set up on the side.
Okay, so when she did that, I was like, I don't believe it. I don't believe 4 cameras just died. She said evil spirits were involved. There had to be something spiritual that made all the cameras just die, all 4 cameras. And I just said in that video, they were still together then, when I did it. And I remember the people just didn't like the video, but I just said what I felt. And then later, about a week later, I somehow got my hands on a video of the birth. And I was like, so how did you record this one? If all cameras shut off, that one was not recorded live. It was just recorded like when you record with a camera. So there was a phone still working. So all the cameras didn't shut off. I'm gonna play that one tomorrow. So it just continued like that. Yeah. And we also remember that before she put to bed, she did a video and she said that she had a camera worth about 10,000, not a phone, a camera worth about $10,000 that was stolen in her apartment. She says someone allegedly came in to fix something in the home. And after the person finished, she said she left the man in the house and just went to grab something. And then when she came back, the man left later. And then she realized that the camera had vanished from the home. So she was suspecting that it was that man that came to fix the thing that stole the camera. And she was saying it on live video. I also remember saying that I do not believe that story. Why? Because she didn't take any action, one. Two, she didn't go to the police, even when people were commenting, go to the police, do something about it. She was like, no, no, no. She didn't do nothing. $10,000 is a lot of money. Who bought the camera? $10,000. And at that time, people felt like she doesn't even have money at all. So how could she have afforded a camera worth $10,000? So it's just all these different things, but we are gonna dig deeper into them tomorrow in episode 2. Yeah. And another new thing, I'm just trying to give you guys ideas about where we are headed in the coming episodes. Now it's out in the open that Kora Obidi is not poor. I'm sure that's not breaking news. And a lot of people have been in denial. Even when Justin Dean came out and said she's a millionaire, people denied. Even she denied. She laughed at that statement. She made mockery of it, like, I wish you all, like, are you the one that made me a millionaire? Something like that. I believe that she's a millionaire. Someone who is paying $100,000 to attorney fees. Someone who was ordered to pay her ex $50,000. Imagine what that person has in her account. And someone who is planning to purchase a home in LA this year. I checked the housing prices in LA, and the cheapest I found was $690,000, and it was one raggedy old house. I wouldn't want to live in that house, but it was a good house with a yard. Very old looking, archaic looking house. 690,000. I searched and that was the cheapest I found. Other ones were 900,000, 1 million, 3 million, $6 million. And she said she was planning to buy a house this year. So you can imagine how much she has. So Justin said she's a millionaire. I believe it. She's not poor. That can be established. That has been established, I believe. If you still think she's poor, well, that means Ukraine is in Africa. Then you can believe anything I tell you right now. She's not poor. Yeah. So that's just it. So I'm just gonna try read some comments, and you guys just get ready to watch episode 2 tomorrow and other episodes the coming day. So we're just really going to take it gradually. We are no longer going along with the flow of, okay, this happened, this is trending, let's talk about this. We're just gonna go step by step and just bring the truth to light, like reality, not going with sentiment. Okay, I like her, I like him, and I'm going to support him. He's a bad man. She's the bad one. No, we are just going to be showing you guys reality, truth from the words of their mouth. Yeah. Okay. Someone says her page took off during COVID. Who was paying for everything before? They have also been separated for almost 11 months now. So add that time frame up and ask yourself what she contributed exactly. The exactly was part of the comment. So I'm not like confirming or, concurring to that. But it's true anyway that, well, she only started recently earning, also according to what her sister said. So we can just conclude for a fact that he has been taking care of her. He has been doing what he should do as a husband to a wife. She also confirmed it in the video. She said, look, we are not cheap. We like to eat what we like to eat, and he has to work 12 hours to make sure that his family was fine. The house rent, up until when she left that house, he was the one paying house rent. We are going to play all those videos very soon. I don't just want to talk out of talking, but we are going to really play. I'm just giving you guys ideas about what to expect. Yeah. He was paying $7,700, $7,700 when he was living or squatting with a friend after the breakup. She was still in the home they both shared. Yeah. And he was still paying while she was there. And she was earning. Her page was booming. She would go live then. She would have 10,000 because everybody was eager to hear something and she wasn't giving nothing. As British people say, nothing. She wasn't giving. So people were rushing there, 10,000, 11,000 viewing, But she was living there and he was paying while she was living there. Even when she was earning more than him, and she's still earning more than him, I believe. Yeah. So we're gonna just really take everything one step at a time. So that notion of she was the one feeding him, he was using her, taking her money is a lie. I know the money is part of why they broke up because it looks like she wanted to be in total control of her money when she started to earn. She might really have her good reasons for doing that. She really might. Me, I always say a woman can have so much money, but when a woman starts to be like, oh, I want to determine what happens to my money, sometimes there is a reason. It might be she's stingy. It might be the man doesn't deserve to be part of that money. You can't be treating me like shit and you want to eat out of my sweat. Then I'm going to be covering and protecting. So truly, she might have her own reasons. But truth of the matter, from what we have learned so far, is when she started to earn, she wanted to sit on that money. She didn't want him to be part of the, and he just felt outside of it. So that was part of why they broke up. But before she started to earn, he was the one paying the bills, the house rent, and most of the other things. So let me see if, okay, we have passed our 1 hour mark. I'm just going to read some comments and then we're going to close. Maybe let's close in three minutes. Okay. Someone says, Cora said on their first date, she got drunk and Justin didn't even touch her. If he was such a monster, have he would have his way with her and treat her like okay. Someone says, I wish, oh my God, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We are gonna get there. Someone says she paid her own dowry. Like, it's not even what you want to say. Even if you did it, most women wouldn't want you to know that they did. But it's good to gain experience in life. And I'm grateful. Look, I might have married late, but I'm happy I did because I learned a lot. Maybe if I had married earlier, I wouldn't have known that this thing is bad or it's not good for a woman to do it. I would maybe not have known. I would have maybe felt like, oh, let's split, if I have it, why not? But because I already knew and heard from people and I already saw the maybe stigma attached to it, I knew that like I was so very, very careful about it. But for her to, it's good that she was honest about it, but I think she just didn't know the meaning of it. You as a woman paying your own bride price. Mm. All right, so I think someone says, okay, I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. One says dialogue and communication is paramount. Social media killed what could be salvage of their union. Yes, I also partly agree with that. I really do agree with that. If not for social media, I don't think they would have left each other the way they did. Really, really. But we'll get there. So for now, I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Oh, Rosa. Hello. I see you now on YouTube. Wow. Oh, you just joined. Welcome. We are just closing now. You guys should go ahead and share. So let me thank all of you for your comment. I hope you guys like this. It's a new series that we are launching. Yeah, why not? So I hope you guys like it. If you did, just let me know. Drop your comments. Give me your opinion about it. Do you like it, or should we just go along with the flow? Let's not wait. Let's drop it like it's hot. You know what happened yesterday? Talk about it, blessing. Or you're like, just continue like this. Let me know. Give me your feedback. Then I can see what I want to do with it. Share the video. I would really appreciate that. We want the news, the truth to be out. Enough of all the lies. And when I say enough of the lies, not only from Justin or Cora, but also the fans, the followers, the noisemakers, enough. Let's tone it down. Because, yeah, let's tone it down. And let's spread the truth more than spreading lies and misinformation and all of that, just to spoil someone's image. Share the video, share the video. If you're new here, do subscribe. Wherever you see a subscribe button, go ahead and just click subscribe, or you just follow the page you're watching on. Thank you all once again for your comments. I'll read the rest of the comments once I end the live video, but we are here now for 1 hour, 6 minutes. So time's up. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed night, each and every one of you. Thank you for all of you who sent me messages. I'll check them also later. I remain Blessing Njoh, the analyst, and I will catch you all on my next